Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as The Seattle Stitcher. You can email me at theseattlestitcher@gmail.com, and if you're interested, you can check me out on Ravelry as Mama Made VM. As I say, you are all very, very welcome here. If you're having problems finding me, all my links will be in the down bar to find me in those places. So if you're interested, take a look there. Usually I have an order with starting with the starts and going into there. I'm honestly just going to grab out of my bucket because I don't think I have very much filming time today, and life has just kind of gotten the best of me lately. So I'm just going to grab from my bucket, and hopefully you guys don't mind a little bit more of a disorganized video today. So the last thing that I've been working on, I pulled out last night. This is Autumn's Glow. I'm going to pop a picture on the screen. This is a Just Cross Stitch Magazine Autumn, or like the fall edition 2022. And so if you're interested, I got mine from Annie's catalogs, which I will link down below. But I will say that a lot of people have the digital version of this available from their local library as a PDF. So you can also check out your Libby app, which is a service through the library system. I just don't know if it's available for everyone. So I did just purchase mine. It was about $6 or $7, so not too bad. But I'm stitching mine on a 32 count flax, just plain old flax Zweigart. It's one of my favorite Zweigart fabrics. I really do enjoy it. I'm stitching this 2/2. I'll pop a picture of where I was before on this project. And again, I just pulled this one out last night, so I don't think I'm going to put it away anytime soon. I'm really, really into the mood of stitching on this. And I don't know, something about it I just really enjoy. But here is where I got to. And I think this looks fabulous. What I have done is I went up into here and I started stitching on the leaves that are over this way. I do have some back stitching that I need to put into this leaf here, and then also I need to do the back stitching in this leaf, but I want to finish the leaf before I add the back stitching. And there's some more acorns down in here. I just love this project, honestly. I love the little tiny acorns here. They literally look like they're just glowing, shining. The way that the shadowing is done on the lantern itself is stunning. The back stitch, some of it is one strand, some of it is two strands going up here, so it really does look like twigs versus just like lines in the leaves and stuff. So I really, really, really love this project. And 2/2, the stitches look so nice on this flax linen. I'm really enjoying the 2/2 on this 32 count. I think I'll buy more of this. I mean, I do keep a steady stash, I'm not going to lie, of flax because I like the color so much, but it looks so good. And I'm using, of course, all the called for flosses. One thing I actually did do, if you guys have watched previously, then you'll know that I did have all of mine on like a cardstock paper you can get from Joann's or Michael's. It's like in the scrapbooking section, but it's thick and it's like really hard to rip. Well, I bought some of that paper and I did make 2 huge like floss card situations, but pretty soon after that, I had purchased these like acrylic ones on Amazon, and I got these, a 10 pack of them. I'm pretty sure it was a 10 pack, and it was like $9 to $12, I want to say, so very affordable for me. And so I did go ahead and just swap over my DMCs to the floss cards. And what I've done is I just actually went in here with a plain old Sharpie and marked off. And then this one, you can see here I just started doing my blends, but when I do a blend, I just put the symbol instead of putting the 2 DMC numbers because it takes up less space. So yeah, I really, really enjoy this. I think it's just awesome. It's so fun and easy to work with. These were very affordable for me. Like I said, they're very lightweight and they're sturdy and nice. I really like a floss card situation like this. I like when I have an extra one so I can put the blended flosses on there as well. So yeah, I really, really do like this. I'll link these in the down bar. I'll have like a list that the title will say Amazon, and you can click through the links from there if that makes it easier for you guys. But yeah, I just took like the autumnal colored ones. I don't know. It's silly, but I did go ahead and just take the orange, yellow, and beige, and I put all my flosses on here. I just did them in numerical order. That seemed the easiest to me, and I'm really enjoying the project, and I really like these after using them. Even just last night, I knew that if I was able to like consolidate my flosses into a little bit more of an organized system, that I would just enjoy the stitching a little bit more, and I definitely did. I think this looks beautiful. If you're wanting to see a finish of this, check out Rachel over at Lemonade Stitching. I absolutely love her. I think I saw this project in the first place from her anyway, I'm pretty sure. And I just knew I had to stitch it. So I did start it on a whim after seeing hers, because honestly, like, the cover photo does not do this justice. The shading and the blending in the leaves and stuff is so bright and just beautiful. And I have a few other kits that I have ready to go to stitch up that I think are going to look so good with this. Specifically, I have one by, what is it? Marajka. There's a kit by Marajka that's some pumpkins with, I think, a candle. And I think that it's going to look really, really good with this piece. So I do have plans to stitch them on the same fabric as well. So yeah, that is my that's my progress on that one from last night. And then I do have a restart. So Amira, my 6-year-old daughter, she started cheer practice and she's absolutely loving it. And at cheer practice, I've been bringing a little bag with me. This is my cheer practice bag. And it says like Salem Apothecary. It's just a fun little bag. I think my mother-in-law got this for me as a Christmas present because she knows that I love Halloween. So I've been packing this every single time I leave for cheer. She's had 2 practices so far, and they're an hour apiece. So I really just barely started this at the last practice. So I've got an hour worth of stitching. I don't want to find the cover photo, so I'll pop a picture on the screen here. So this is Autumn Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews. I do have the paper pattern. I'm not sure if this one you could get as a PDF. I really don't know, but I have the paper chart. You can definitely check out her Etsy store and grab one for yourself. Probably a lot of other stores have this pattern as well. I did originally start this on a linen and it looked amazing. I really did like it. It was I want to say a 36 count, and I was doing 1/2 on it. And what happened was the bottom of my cloche, I didn't account for the fact that the bottom gets wider. And because of that, I needed to restart it because I did not have enough margin. The bottom of the cloche wouldn't even fit across the whole piece. So I did decide, because we're as in the girls are kind of figuring out our goal projects for next year. Specifically, Bridget, the museum stitcher, and Cam the stitcher, they are doing the vanity sampler this year, and I wanted to do it with them, but I ended up having to drop off just because I was, having my baby and all that, and life kind of got crazy ahead of me. And so I am trying to get back on focus for a project for next year. And they decided they're going to focus in on Autumn Cloche, and I said, let me get a head start, because they both have the project going already with several thousand stitches into theirs. And so this is going to be the pretty much every single cheer practice. So 2 hours every week, I'm going to be pulling this out. And then at game days, every single weekend until November, I'll pull this out to work on it. So I do have it's not Leo and Roxy any longer, but when I bought the conversion, it was Leo and Roxy. But now they're just Roxy Floss Co. I'm sure this conversion still exists, but the Roxy Floss Co. conversion, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It really is. I've seen this done up in the DMCs though, and I will say it's just as beautiful. So don't feel the need to buy these at all. It's a gorgeous piece regardless of the flosses you go with. I think it calls for NPIs, then it has a DMC conversion. But yeah, I wanted to make it a little extra special. So Bridget and I both had purchased this Leo or Roxy Floss Co. conversion. And I'm stitching it 1/2 this time on Brown Sugar Ada. It's a 20 count. So my bad. I should say 1/1 on 20 count Brown Sugar Ada. And I am doing a center start this time. So here is my little start. Like I said, I just worked on it for an hour at the last practice. I got the outline of this middle flower done because I'm doing a center start, and then I went down to the stem because I do want to work my way over to outline the pumpkin, and that'll be a bunch of fill-in stitching. So I do think that'll be easy and just nice and fun to do at cheer practice. This needle minder, it has a pretty small magnet on it. It's okay. I do wish the magnet was larger. It is one that I got at StitchCon. I'm trying to remember who the maker was. Honestly, I can't remember. I don't know if it was a Rebel Designs or what, but anyways, it just says maker on it. It has a little pair of scissors. It is really cute, but I will say, yeah, the magnet is very small. But yeah, I really do like it on this 20 count Ada. I have it in a 7-inch Morgan hoop. So if you're interested, definitely check out these hoops. I absolutely love them. I grabbed mine off Amazon. Like I said, I'll have a title that says Amazon and links for Amazon below it. I'll link this as well because it is so good. But yeah, I like it because I can kind of loosen it up. This is not super tight in here, and I don't feel like I'm crushing my fabric or anything. So yeah, really, really like this. This is how big it's going to be on the 40. It's equivalent to a 40 count linen, but it's really a 20 count Ada. And the modeling on this is really good as well. This is the Brown Sugar Ada. I will say the Brown Sugar linen was very green based. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more green, then I would go with the linen. If you're looking for something a little bit more brown sugar colored, because Brown sugar really does have kind of like a golden green hue to it, I suppose. You know how some golds look green? And so the linen just pulls a little bit more green than this does. This looks more brown sugar colored to me. Yeah, I do really like it. It's a very, very nice Aida. One of my favorite fabric dyers too. Just amazing, amazing quality product. The fabric's always true to count, and yeah, I just never have any problems. The next project I decided to pull out, I think I kind of burnt myself out on samplers, so I did go ahead and move on to a Quaker, because you guys know I absolutely love Quakers just as much as I love samplers. This is Seasons of Friendship. You can only get this from one place. I know it's a crown and thistle pattern, but I haven't found anywhere else that they're sold. I got it from Dying to Stitch, which is a shop in Virginia Beach. You just essentially had to call into them and place an order over the phone. I didn't have any bad experience with that, but I do know that not everyone is going to be as trusting. So essentially it was a shop. I called in over the phone, gave them my card number, made the payment over the phone that way. And I did get the package about a week later, but no tracking number, nothing like that is provided to you. So that's information about how I got the pattern. I did get it. I didn't get any like fraud or anything like that on my card afterwards. So I had a good experience overall. So anyway, I ordered that pattern up a while ago. I think I have a picture of where I was last time, so I'll pop that on the screen. This I'm stitching on 40 count antique white, which is this Quaker, just plain old linen. And I'm stitching this with a really fun floss. This is Dracula by Color and Cotton. I will say, I don't know if this is available any longer. I think I might have purchased all of that they had left. If I can find any, I'll link it down below. If you don't see a link for it, then I couldn't find it available any longer. But yeah, I absolutely love it. It's such a fun variegated floss. I don't know if I'll ever use another highly variegated like this. I mean, this isn't highly variegated to a lot of people, but to me this is, but I do really enjoy it. It's fun to stitch with. Again, this is Dracula by Color and Cotton. 1 over 2 on the 40 count. And here is where I got to. So life has just kind of taken me for a spin this past week. And so all that I got in was this little crown here. This is Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching's initials here, the SS. And so underneath that, I put a little crown. And then I went over here and I started putting in this second little reindeer. I love this piece. It's so fun to stitch on. I really, really enjoy the variegated floss. I'm not trying to match it up in any kind of way at all because it's such a big piece. I don't want to be finicky with it and picky. I also know that I'm going to be really close on floss. I have just enough to stitch the whole thing, but honestly, there's a DMC that's pretty similar that has a deep, deep, dark variegated red to a bright red, and so I figure if I do run out with just a tiny little bit left, I'll make it work with that DMC if I can't snag up some more from Color and Cotton myself. But it's just such a fun stitch. Anywhere there was like little blank area, I've been able to, or even where there's these smaller motifs, you can take out the small motifs and replace that with initials. But in the pattern itself, there are no initials. So you take out as much as you want to add in new initials. So yeah, I need to add in my sister's initials. She's a December baby and I'm in the winter months right now. I have like Marjorie from Marjorie Made. I have quite a few of you. Elizabeth with her new last name. Then MM is Marjorie. Casey, you guys want to guess who that is? Carrie from Tiger Lily. So yeah, I've just been having a really fun time, and I do have a bunch of initials to add into this because this is like my Flosstube like remembrance piece. And I asked you guys quite some time ago now that if you were born in the winter months to give me your initials, and I have a list that I saved in my phone. And so, yeah, I've got a bunch of lists and I'm ready to go. I don't have any of the other months though. Every time I show this project and I mention that, I always get people that are commenting like for an April birthday or whatever. And I'm only in December. I didn't want to take the initials too early and then lose them within my phone. So I only have the winter babies so far, but as soon as I'm done with the winter month, I will move on into the other ones. And of course, ask for your guys' initials if you want to be included on my piece, because I thought it was just like fun and exciting. The next thing was a restart for me. So 2 restarts actually in the past couple weeks. First of all, I actually did do some dyeing. So I did some Aida dyeing. I have 18 count Aida in my stash. If you guys remember, quite some time ago, I ordered a massive piece of Aida. It was literally big enough to be a blanket. It's kind of comical, but I got that off of Amazon. I'll link it down below if I can find the same listing because it really was a good deal. It was like $30 for like a 5 foot by 4 foot piece of 18 count plain white Quaker Aida. So it's great. And I decided to restart Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I have the paper pattern for this as well, so I'll pop a picture on the screen. And I am stitching this with DMC 311. I know. Do I have enough of it? I don't know why I purchased this much, honestly. Just a mistake as a new stitcher. I was such a new stitcher when I purchased this pattern that I thought I needed like 50 skeins. So got a couple bags worth. But I did go ahead and I dyed some Aida myself. And so here's my dye job. This is just pearl gray. And I'm trying to think if I added anything else. I think I just did pearl gray and charcoal, but I diluted both of them significantly. And it gave me just this beautiful, you can see it kind of matches the light blue of my sweater here. It's very light blue. I wanted something blue, but kind of, I don't know, smoky at the same time. And that's why I added in the very highly diluted charcoal gray as well. So again, pearl gray and charcoal, both RIT dyes. And I have a very, very tiny start. I wanted to restart this with my friend Brittany. I will leave her Instagram down below. She is one of my best friends, and I am so grateful for this community because that's what brought us together, was stitching. And she decided she wanted to start this one, and I was like, okay, well, I need to start it with you. Duh, what are best friends for? And so tiny little start, but I do have at least a start on it. And this is 2 over 1 on the 18 count. I honestly couldn't decide if I wanted to do 2 over 1 or 1 over 2. Or no, 1 over 1 or 2 over 1. Sorry, that always confuses me with Aida because I'm so used to talking in linen terms. But I did end up deciding with the 2 over 2 because I liked how full coverage it was. And I personally, for long dogs specifically, I like that they're full, like plump stitches. My son is giving me a run for my money today. But anyway, I really like the full plump stitches when it comes to these kind of patterns, like long dogs in general. I don't want them to be sparse. I also went up in a needle size to a bit of a larger needle. So the eyelet itself to thread the needle is larger. And I think that that has helped lay down my flosses very nicely, because I think that it gave more space while I was pulling the DMC through, because obviously it's kind of opening up the Aida. But yeah, that's just, I don't know. It really helped for me to get my stitches to lay nice. And I just love that. Really pretty. So again, DMC 311, 2 over 1 on 18 count Aida. And I'm really enjoying the project. It's just a fun one. I have very little progress. I need to get some more on it, but for some reason, I just wasn't in the mood to stitch on a long dog. I was for like a day, and then, I mean, it's only been a week since I filmed last. Okay, and that is the last project I work on, but I do have a couple of things that I prepped. This one I didn't prep, but I did decide that I'm just going to, sorry, my son is walking around in his walker, and he's moving the tripod. No, don't do that. You gotta look where you're going. So the next thing I did was actually just some prep work on a project that I already have started. I have this project, Sarah Moon, that I've been working on with a couple of my girlfriends every month on the full moon, but I really wasn't enjoying working on it, and I think it's because I didn't have the symbols written down on my floss drops. I was having to do the conversion every single time of looking at the, the symbol, going and finding the symbol in the original colorway, and then doing the conversion to my new one. So what I did was I put the symbols on my floss ring, and I think I mentioned this last time with the Vicky Claytons that I had done this to a previous silk conversion. And so I did go ahead and just do the prep work of finally labeling all of these. So the front does have the actual little sticker that comes with it, but I also labeled the back. So I just did a little bit of prep work in that sense. I didn't actually get any stitching in on this, but it is a really beautiful project, and I think next time I pull it out, that'll help me just to have an easier process of just sitting down and stitching. I also need to go ahead and take out some of the flosses because some of the colors just don't show up on my fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the lightest pink, the lightest blue, and the lightest yellow, like creamy color, because they aren't going to show up on my fabric. So that was just a little bit of prep work that I did this week, and I wanted to talk with you guys about. The next thing that I have decided in the last week since I filmed was to go ahead and I'm going to UFO this. I was going to keep it and put it away until the springtime, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of like mystery stitches and things like that. So I think that this is a pattern that is just not meant for me. I don't really imagine myself having the time to do a color conversion for this. I know a lot of you guys suggested that I get a color conversion done for me, but shops go based off of the DMC or the previous color conversion that already exists, and then they will find you their floss that matches that. The problem is with this one is that the NPIs, the Classic Colorworks, and the DMC are all extremely different from the front cover here. And I just don't have the time, nor do I want to make the time to do a whole from scratch one-for-one conversion. I would have to go and find every single little tiny shade in here. And I'm just not going to do that. That was the job of the designer who reproduced this, and they failed at doing that. And so for me, this is definitely one that I'll probably give to a friend if any of them are interested. And I'm going to save the flosses and do something else because these flosses are absolutely gorgeous. And again, I got these from Lindy Stitches. Highly recommend her shop. Steph over there is absolutely amazing, just a gorgeous human being. So check out her shop if you haven't already. Again, Steph over at Lindy Stitches. I'll link her shop down below. So highly recommend for kitting up projects there because I was able to get a great deal on those flosses. But I'm going to use them for something else and, enjoy them. Why not? Okay. Both the kids just left to go with Daniel to the park. So I finally have some quiet time, which is perfect because I really wanted to break down my Notion because I wanted to talk about my Sampler September plans and how I've been using Notion to help navigate that as well as just to kind of organize things in general, which is perfect timing for me to say thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of my video because without you guys, I would not have been able to up my Notion game to the way that I have it now. I watched this gentleman, Ollie. I took his course and it was so easy to listen along with. I was able to actually double speed it, which is perfect for me. If you guys have been watching for a while, you'll know I'm a fast talker, but I also listen to things double speed pretty much always, unless it's typically a YouTube video is the only thing that I don't watch in double speed, but even then, sometimes I do speed those up because I don't have very much time. And this time of year is particularly crazy busy for me, just between Amira, she has 2 cheer practices and a game every single week. She has school, then I have my work, and then I have Malachi's doctor's appointments and all that stuff. And so life just kind of gets ahead of me this time of year. And Notion was definitely something that I wanted to get a better understanding of and also just use a little bit more. So I was able to learn not only just how to make my Notion a little bit more aesthetically pleasing by taking this course, but also how I can link together things. So I decided to make a timeline, which was new to me. And within that timeline, I have laid out my entire month for Sampler September. I like a timeline because it's not a check off to-do list, which also is an option within Notion. Shout out to him because I didn't know that either. I mean, I knew that it existed, but I didn't know how to create all these things. And so he really teaches you the basics, and then he gets down into the nitty-gritty of all the extras that come with Notion. And it's awesome because Notion is free. So it's just a really cool platform, and I'm really grateful to be able to learn a little bit more about it and take more advantage of it because now I have my calendar, I have things linked together, I have projects linked in together with my timeline view. I'm able to move around my timeline, which is what I liked. And so I have my timeline, and you'll see me actually going in here and editing my timeline because I have made some changes already within my month. This makes me just feel better than having a checklist because with the checklist, I end up having to just completely delete what I've already pre-put in there because it's not things that I can be maintaining in my life because of XYZ reasons, So life just gets ahead of me. I got a little busy, decided I didn't want to work on samplers anymore, and I have worked on some other projects. But yeah, Skillshare has just been an amazing platform, and I've been having a lot of fun in the mornings. Usually when I'm getting ready in the morning, I like to watch a Flosstube, watch a video, whatever it may be. And so with this, it's been really nice to just pop on a course and listen and learn. And I've been having a lot of fun doing it because it's a huge platform with so much to offer. One of the things that I decided to take a look and peruse for outside of Notion was actually designing your own cross stitch patterns. I don't want to get into designing, but what I want to do is learn how to use Adobe so that I can create some changes within existing charts, not by recharting charts, but adding in my own things. So the girls and I were doing this Galentine's project, and I really wanted to add in the girlies because that's what we call ourselves, and that's what most people have called us is the girls. And so I really want to add that in, but I needed to have an actual charted out version of that. And I've learned from Notion, there's a course that is literally how to create a cross stitch chart on Adobe. Perfect. Add that to my little course list. and I'll get that one started in the next month or so here. And then I was curious as well just what there was for knitting, because a lot of you guys reach out to me and ask if I will film knitting content, but it's really hard with my setup and also just background noise and, you know, lighting and stuff. It's really hard, and I tend to just not have the most I don't have the most time right now in my life with the two little ones. So I decided, well, you know, let me go and look and see what the courses are like on Notion for knitting classes, the knitting basics, etc. There is like hours and hours worth of classes to teach you guys how to knit. So thank you so much to Skillshare, because actually the first 500 of you that click the link in my description box below get an entire month of Skillshare for free. So if you are going to sign up for Skillshare, please let me know what classes you take so that I can see what you've been taking, because the awesome thing about Skillshare as well is that there's an area where people can leave comments on the courses, and that's a really fun way to communicate with people just that are interested in the same thing as you, and maybe I'll catch you guys in some of the comment sections over there. But Skillshare is just, it's the largest online learning community for creatives like us, and they have thousands of classes led by industry experts, from knitting to making my own cross-stitch charts, and especially using Notion, which is what I've been, you know, optimizing it for. But like I said, the first 500 people to click that link in the description will receive a month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today, guys, and let me know what you get started on. Just wanted to show you guys how I broke down my Notion and mention how much I've been appreciating using that, because I know a lot of you guys actually have questions about Notion. I've gotten a few questions on my own videos about Notion, and I don't plan on ever putting out videos about Notion because it's not something that I feel like I'm an expert in, but luckily you can go and check out this same exact class. I'll do like an exact link to the class that I took as well, and I hope you guys take it and let me know what you've learned, because I'm obsessed and I love looking at my Notion now. So from there though, I did actually do a little bit of knitting and some sewing in the past couple weeks. So first of all, I have a finished object. So I did finish the hat for my husband that I was knitting last time I filmed. This is just knit with a fingering weight sock yarn from A Little Knitty, which is a shop here in Washington State. I do have a picture of my husband wearing it, so I'll have to pop that on the screen. It's very large, but my husband, he has a pretty big head. So it fits him perfect. And it's just a really nice, just really bright red, but his favorite color is red, and he looks great in these bright colors. So now I can give this to him and let him just completely ruin it. He wears these hats to the ground. And if you're interested, I will link down below my pattern for this. I do have it in my project pages within Ravelry for free. I know it's not the best written pattern or anything like that, but that's why I'm not charging anyone for it. From there, I did do a little bit of shopping at Joann's. I really wanted to cast on another little onesie for Malachi. So I had knit him this one when I was pregnant, and I purchased the pattern from This Grandma Built. And it's just called Top to Bottom One Piece. That's all it says. And it's only in the sizes 0 to 3 months and 3 to 6 months. I've gone ahead and made it a larger size by upping the gauge. And so that's how I'm achieving a size that's going to fit like a 9 to 12 month. And I am knitting this with, gosh, what is this yarn? This is an acrylic wool blend from Lion Brand, I want to say. But Joann's had a sale going on it. And anyway, I did end up picking up 4 balls of this nice kind of heathered blue color. I really liked this color. I thought it looked really good with the light blues as well. And I have like some light blue blankets and hats for him. So I thought this would look really pretty together. And I decided, like I said, to just up the gauge. So instead of knitting on the called for needle size, I am knitting on a size 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter. And here is where I got to. So I've split for the sleeves. The sleeves are disconnected now, and I'm working down into the body. But I also knit the hat. The construction is so interesting. You actually start with the ribbing, and then you knit your panel this way for the hat, and then you like sew this edging together. I actually do like a 3 needle bind off essentially to give myself my edging on the back, because I think it leaves a really nice clean seam in the back. And yeah, I think I added 1 extra row of the repeat of this bobble stitch kind of pattern. And then you also, after you're done with that, you pick up the stitches along the edge and you start knitting the actual body of the sweater. So yeah, I've got the hood done, sleeve separated, and I'm just working on the ribbing. And I also like that, or working on the main body. I like though that the ribbing is included in the knit. It's not something that you pick up the stitches for afterwards and knit on. And it's a very clean edge at the edge as well, the way that they have you finish it. It's like a slip and a purl, so it's just a nice finished clean edge. The other thing that I have changed as well is that I've increased the amount of buttonholes, and I've also twisted my stitch every time that I knit into a buttonhole. So I have double the amount of them. So you can see here's a buttonhole and here's a buttonhole. So they're quite close together, but I noticed with the first one that they tend to kind of pull apart. And it's not even that the onesie is too big, it's just that the yarn was very soft. It's 100% wool, but it's a very soft wool. And so with this, it being an acrylic wool blend, it's also very, that silky, plasticky, very smooth. So I didn't want it to pull apart. So I increased the size, or I increased the amount of the buttonholes, and I've also made them smaller so the buttons will be really tightly fitted through here. And so they're each very, very close in size and very close together, because I think that that's going to help out in the long run. You can kind of see plenty of little buttonholes, but I think that'll be really cute. And I think I'm going to go with like some wooden buttons with this, or if I can find a nice, petrol blue sort of shade that matches, I'll go ahead and snag some of those up. Yeah, really cute. Obviously haven't blocked it yet or anything, so my stitches aren't looking perfect, but it's definitely a fun little knit, very easy in my opinion. I think this is something that an adventurous beginner could do. I think that the hardest part is definitely that you pick up the stitches in a lot of areas, but besides that, pretty easy. But yeah, pattern I found on Etsy. I'll link it down below if I can find it. And from there, when I was at Joann's, I also decided I wanted to sew myself a Halloween skirt. Every year, except for the year that I was pregnant with Malachi, I have sewed up a Halloween skirt. And this year, I just really wanted to bring back the tradition in full swing. If you follow me on Instagram, then you already saw this. But I did go ahead and sew up a Halloween skirt. So I don't use a pattern when I sew these up. I just do it from scratch. But essentially, I do a interfacing on the waistband, which is, I do like a 4-inch band, and then I put the interfacing in on the whole thing, and then I fold it over on itself after I've folded up an edge so that it's a clear edge on one side, but a raw edge on the inside. So this is not a nice, neat, finished edge. It's just sewn right down. But I'm not too worried about it because the interfacing, like I said. So I fold this down and I encase the actual skirt that I have like bunched up together, because I'm not doing any fancy kind of pleats or anything like that. That's just, I don't have no time for that. So I've just bunched up the fabric and I encase that within the waistband itself, and that's how I finish it. It works out great for me. I think it creates a super cute, very full skirt. I usually add like a tutu or some kind of tulle filling skirt underneath. You can get those on Amazon pretty cheap, like usually 12 or 13 bucks. And I also added an invisible zipper. So you'll see on the side here, nice, just, I think this is probably like a 6-inch zipper maybe, but a nice short little zipper. I thought it's funny, I just had this in stash and it matches so well. But yeah, nice little zip. Just got that right in the side, and I've got myself a cute little Halloween skirt. Very full, very 1950s. I like this with like a plain black little, kind of mock neck turtleneck. And I also just literally fold over the bottom, hem really close to the edging, and I cut off some of the excess fabric, but that's all I do. It's super cheap quilting cotton, but honestly, I don't plan to keep these for the long run. I typically end up donating them to Goodwill after I'm finished for a year, but just kind of a fun little thing that I've done every year for several years now, probably about 5 years. And if you've been watching for a long time, you might remember the first year that I did Flosstube. I did make one. I just don't know if I showed it on my channel or not. It was like this really busy fabric that had like trick-or-treaters and all sorts of stuff on it, but I liked this one. It was just all the like classic horror movie, like Dracula and the Swamp Man and the Invisible Man and the Witch here and Bride of Dracula Bride of Frankenstein. The werewolf. I thought it was so fun. And it's like this lime green chartreuse. There's Frankenstein up here. Love it. So super fun. I also have a sweater that I really want to knit, and I did buy some yarn for. I bought some black wool that was like a nylon wool blend, and then some Patton's their worsted weight in the cream color, because I wanted to do this. I think it's like the Arachne sweater. It's spider web along the neckline. I'll pop a picture on the screen. It's a really cute pattern, but it calls for a sport weight. I thought I could just make it work, but I can't. I think I'm just going to be too hot if I try to knit it in a DK weight. And outside of that, I really love the sweater. So I'd love to make it fit how it's supposed to. And I think that very like 1950s look is actually going to be really cute with my skirt. So I might keep this around for next year. I accidentally made it the wrong size, which, I mean, I don't use a pattern. I literally just cut pieces and sew them together and make it work. So I have already altered my my waistband. I took it in about an inch, but that's fine. I mean, it's no big deal. It's such a big circle skirt style that, well, it's not even really a circle skirt because you're not sewing along a curve ever, which is what I pretty much try to do. But I try to avoid sewing on a curve, I mean. But yeah, super fun one. I picked up a little, like I said, a mock neck black little shirt to wear with it. I got on Amazon, also super cheap. So I sewed up that. And then the next thing that I have to show you guys is some Happy Mail. So the Happy Mail I have to show you guys is absolutely amazing. It's actually so amazing that I reached back out to the company and tried to get one to give away because it's such a good set. Oh my goodness, it's so good. So it's in this beautiful, very nice, thick box. And this is from Amazon, so I'm going to link it down below. They do have, so I reached out to them to try to get a set to give away because it's that amazing and I really wanted to offer you guys a set. And she said that they really only have a limited quantity, so they couldn't give me another one to give away. But this is the Hamtree White Acrylic Bobbin set for DMCs. And this is compatible with the DMC drawer set as well as the Bisley, I think that's what it's called, Bisley. And it is a full set of pre-labeled acrylic floss drop bobbins. Floss drop bobbins. So pre-labeled, what I mean by that, you'll see here, they're all preset with the DMC color and the number. How nice are those? And then you'll see here, there's 2 holes in it because you can use this as a floss drop, not just a floss bobbin. I am so impressed with this set. I like the size of these, first of all. They're not too large because I will say some brands, I feel like the acrylic floss drops, floss bobbins, whatever, they're so big and bulky that when I have them in a project bag, I just don't like it. It's not very enjoyable and it like kind of just breaks up my bag really funky and weird. But these are just really nice, good size. And I think the colors are spot on. And I really, really like they're a good thickness. They're not too thin. They're not going to break on you. And I felt like comparatively to similar products on the market, this one was a good price point. If I do have a discount code or anything like that, I'll put it on the screen. I don't know if I do, but I'm going to link this down below because I am like so impressed. I literally was like, thinking to myself, like, you're not going to use that. Like, don't accept that. I don't know if you're going to use that, but this is absolutely amazing. So she did say that they're going to come out with like another version of this maybe in the next few months. And so I'm still going to try to get my hands on that to do a giveaway because I'm so impressed by the brand. They're so good. And it also came with a set of 5 of these, which these actually hold the bobbins. And again, this is compatible with the Bisley drawers. And these are nice, thick pads. And then your little bobbin with your thread just sits right in it. And you've got your little, see here, it says accrue on it. I'm just, blown away. Very, very impressed. You even have like white, blanc, accrue, E5200. I mean, I am so impressed with this set. So impressed. So highly recommend. Like I said, comparatively in price, this one is a great deal for what I've seen on the market and what these floss bobbin sets go for. I felt like this was just a really good deal, but I love the box it comes in. I love these foam packs it came with. Literally all I need is a drawer system to get this organized and I'm ready to go. So really, really highly impressed with this. Again, thank you so much. So much. It was Sherry who reached out to me from the brand and she was just such a pleasure. I could tell that she actually really did watch my videos. And so thank you so much for reaching out to me. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I have a future where I can give a set of those away. I really hope so because I am so impressed with them and I really want at least one of you guys to be able to try them out. So yeah, check those out. If you do end up buying them, let me know because I would love to know what you think of them and if you think that they're as amazing as I do because they're really good. Like that's the nicest cross stitch item I think I've ever been sent. That is so nice. But anyways, I think that's everything. I did some knitting, some sewing, some cross stitch, and it has only been a week since I filmed last. I'm filming a little bit early this time because life has gotten a little busy over the past few weeks. Next weekend starts the first game day for Amira. She started her cheer practice and is having an absolute blast. And it's just been awesome. My grandma, like I told you guys last time, she was doing great, but unfortunately something happened and now she's back in the hospital and she'll probably be there for a prolonged period of time. So if you guys can continue praying, my grandma, her name is Sue, I would really appreciate it. And I know she would too. That's one of the only things she ever asks for is just for people to pray for her when she is going through a hard time like she is right now. So really just trying to stay positive about everything there on that front. But as far as the kids go, on Monday I have an appointment for Malachi, so he has a 6-month checkup on Monday. Miss Amira, like I said, her first game is next weekend. She'll be cheering for the football team, so we're super excited to go to that. I think it's just going to be so much fun. And yeah, we're just staying busy. Between school, work, cheer practice, Malachi, it's such a wild time, but it really is that time of year where things just get into full swing, and it's hard to get into a routine at first, but once you do, it really is like locked in and loaded. And honestly, Notion helps with that because there's also like a calendar option within Notion, and so I've been able to use that a little bit better. Seriously, I'm trying to use as much as I can from learning on Skillshare within Notion, because Notion is one of those things that like it just scares me to even think about stepping into. But whew, so shout out to Skillshare, man. Because I will definitely be using that. But anyways, I hope you guys have a lovely next couple of weeks, and thank you so much for watching. And I just appreciate you guys so much. So anyways, love you so much. Bye.
Six inch or 4. I mean, you can get a 4-inch one. The 4 will fit into.
That's why he always get a strike.
Wow.
A strike. A strike means like you win, you get a trophy for the first time.
You mean like a home run? Wow. Well, maybe he'll play football.
He always plays. He always plays baseball.
I know, but if he plays like football, then you could you'd be cheering for him. You should ask him if he's playing this year.
I think he'll never want to because he's good at baseball.
Yeah.
Because he got so many trophies. He got 4 trophies of that.
Wow. So he was playing since kindergarten. That's fun. All right. Go put your shoes on. Have fun at the park. Love you.
Did you mean